Somehow we gotta hit the switch. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Yo, let's go. Yo, let's go. Turn it up. Gotta have it on all fronts. Gotta have it on all fronts, right? Hey, hey, might delete later. Might delete later, but for right now, the Fall Off Podcast, the Fall Off Podcast. Listen, I'm bringing all of my followers that are on the Culture Visions Network. It's a big change happening. It's a big shift. This announcement is here. We've already moved over to Patreon. Come on over into Patreon. You can sign up for a free subscription, or you can sign up for the $3 tier where you get tons of content. You can sign up for the $5 tier that you get the exclusive content. And you can sign up for the $25 tier to talk with me about some important topics that we got going on. But if you just want to be here just for the shits and giggles about to fall off, then here it's free on Patreon. As of now, you can go there and get your content. But this is the fall off. Yo, listen. Listen. This is what y'all wanted. This is what y'all wanted. Y'all wanted the fall off. Y'all wanted the content. Y'all wanted me to bring you what you needed to bring you. I started it out. There you got it. You got the music in the beginning. You got the music. Because people were telling me, yo, listen, I'm not about to be on your YouTube channel and I can't hear the music. And I said, you know what? You're right. What would you do for this? What would you do for this? I am on my podcast right now. I sent you a text. Please call me back later. Thank you. So she loves the call at the wrong times. I can't I can't talk. I am recording right now as we speak. I gotta go. I gotta go, okay? Yes. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I have to go. I am podcasting right now. I'm on recording. I'm recording. I'm recording. I turned it off. I turned it's darn you. I said that I was recording. And I'm gonna keep that. I'm gonna keep it because I want to show the level of understanding that I have is why I turned it off before she even called. But it's the level of communication with people nowadays. They only communicate what they want to be communicated. And so I'm just speaking on both fronts because I didn't tell her that I was actually podcasting. Okay. So that's all fairness. I did text and call her 3 times to let her know, and then she would have been able to tell me. But also, I didn't go and say that I was podcasting because then she would have said, hey, don't turn the music. So it's fair. So in retrospect, I need for you out there to tell me who was wrong. And then by you telling me that, hey, we can figure it out from there. But I'm telling you, it is what it is. But hey, yo, listen, the Fall Off Podcast, we're here. Listen, we got some things to discuss. And one of the things that we need to discuss today is um, how do you effectively communicate with your partner um, um, that you're falling off without without feeling bad about yourself. Like the first person that can see that you're falling off is yourself, right? But the second person that can see that you're falling off is your mate. But sometimes they don't know how to even communicate that to you that you're falling off, or even know if it's a really fall off, or if it's just you're you're not fully there emotionally, so you're whatever have you. So that's what I'm saying. So today is how do you effectively communicate with your partner about one, if you're the fall off person, when you know it, how do you communicate it? How do you let them know that, hey, yo, this is what's going on? Now, I'll give you an example. The example I'll give is hairline. Hairline, right? How do you like obviously they can see that, but how do you effectively communicate like I want to go bald? Like all of us can't go bald. I got a friend, Corey. Corey's bald, right? But he's been bald probably since he was like yo, Corey gonna kill me. Just he's like 20, 21. Okay? But he looks good with a bald head. You feel me? Morris Chestnut looks good with a bald head. I don't look good with a bald head, so I got to do some things. But the thing is, how do you effectively communicate that you want to go bald to your partner and she doesn't want you to go bald? So she's going to try anything and everything to try to get you, besides the wearing the toupee. Okay. So my thing is, how do you communicate that? One, you communicate it by keeping your hair cut so that they can see where the flaws is. Two, giving them the the satisfaction of knowing that you're trying to not fall off. So whatever necessary measures you need to take. And then three, just come out and say it. Hey, yo, listen, I don't like the way this is. Can you help? Most women who take care of themselves to the utmost, they are going to make sure that your fall off doesn't come down fully down the cliff like a straight drop. It's going to gradually decline. And then if you go into bald, then it is what it is. Um, but that's a good mate. But let's go on the other side. If you're the person that sees your man falling off and you don't say nothing and he don't say nothing, you're the problem. Because you're the problem. You need to say something. You can't just let the man, go out here looking like who done it, who cares who done it. Like most women love for their man to look good and look sexy, right? And look like a snack or a dinner or whatever you want to call it. So you gotta make sure that you tell your man that he's falling off because you're the first person that's going to see it and recognize it. And make sure that in that you are the solver of the problem instead of being the problem because you are going to be the problem if you don't tell him that he's falling off. And that's just in my head about communication on that. And that was just the icebreaker. Make sure that you effectively communicate in all areas. We'll come back with another particular subject matter and topic as far as that concerns. But listen, let's get into some other things here. So, what? It looks like some music came out, some music dropped. Actually, no. Do I want to start there? I do want to start there. I think I want to start with the new. No, I'm not going to start there. Because if I start there, then I have to go into some other stuff and play music. She's already going with the no theory on that. So let's see. Get in my notes. Get in my notes. Get in my notes. Okay. So I recently had a I recently had a person interview me, and man, the man interviewed me, and it was a great interview. He wanted me to do something with Life Shield. I'm not really interested in that selling stuff, but it's all good. But he said something to me. He said, "Tell me, show me, help me, grow me," and that's very, very interesting when talking about being a leader. So, as being a leader, you have some of the greatest tools known to man. Tools meaning you have the internet, you have life experience, and you also have, family, friends, and people that you can actually, learn off. But sometimes if you're not grown, if you haven't grown up around a leader, a really, really good leader, then you are not going to be a great leader. I don't care what people say. You would have to adapt and learn that. And also, it has to be in you. I think I'm a good leader, despite what people might think and say. The reason why I know that I'm a good leader, I'll tell you the reason why, is because these things that this gentleman said to me. Someone can tell me something, and I'm going to go and research it. Someone could tell me something about myself, and sometimes if I don't agree with it, I'll give pushback. I'm an Aries. That's what I do. But the other things about you telling me is that I'm going to sit back and self-reflect. And once you tell me something, and if I research and I see and I get more information, whether I'm asking people, or whether I'm looking on the internet, or whether I'm my life experience and pulling it all together, um, I'm able to come back and say yay or nay. And the yay, more times than not, you were right, because I didn't know, because I didn't have the effective leadership in my life as far as a man's concerned. Okay, so I learned off of tell me too. That's how I know. So then I can go and give that information back to people as well. Okay, show me, leading by example. Sometimes, especially in relationships, friendships, whatever, you see how people live, and once they show you how they live and how they want to be treated and live, you adopt that, because you want to be around them, the people, right? You want to be in their circle. You want to be, so you don't want to, like, if they're doing these things on a daily basis, this is what they do, this is how they move. You're going to get along with the get along, if that is your thing. And that's what you would like to do as well. Because a lot of times we are misguided by our own judgments on things. And so then now we don't even know what's even right from wrong. So when I'm talking about the leadership styles, and being an effective leader and then being a great leader, the show me is that you're doing it. And then now that's basically showing me. I'm watching the way you move. I'm watching how you do it. And then you're telling me, you know what I'm saying? So you see the tell me, the show me, it's all connected. Help me. The help me is, you don't beat someone down. You actually break it down. You have the patience. And I feel sometimes I don't reach, I have, this is what I learned about myself. I don't have patience. I don't have patience because from, not from the rip though. See, some people, they don't have patience from the rip. I have patience from the rip because what happens is I'm giving you grace inside. That's why Aries are fiery, because we give you the grace and we don't even tell you that we're giving you the grace. What we particularly doing is we letting you get along with the get along like the Lord. Hey, you got, okay, yeah, cool. So let's give you an example. Let me give you one example, good example. You have you're the boss. You tell the agent comes in, and the agent has on purple sneakers, and you say, "Hey, man, I know that the sneakers that you're supposed to be wearing is black are black." And like, oh, you know what? Listen, my dog ripped up the shoestrings. I ain't had no shoestrings to wear. I wasn't gonna be able to wear them today. Okay, well, cool. Well, you gonna get some shoestrings tomorrow? Oh yeah, yeah, I'm gonna get some shoestrings tomorrow. And then they come in the next day, and they have on the sneakers, right? They have on the black sneakers, shoestrings, but the shoestrings are purple. No problem. You you had to do what you had to do. Hey, I couldn't get in there, so I took the shoestrings out. Whatever. Okay, cool. Hey, listen. When do you expect to get some black shoestrings? I'm not trying to be. I'm just trying to make sure that it's clear that you have to have all black. Oh man, maybe by the end of the week. Mind you, this is Tuesday at this point. Oh, okay, cool. By the end of the week, so basically when I come back to work, which is whatever the day is, you're gonna have all black. Yes. The next time they come back, they have the all black sneakers, the shoestrings, but they also have on sweatpants. So you say, hey, listen. Hey, yo, big dog, you got on sweats, man. You know you're not supposed to have sweats on. Hey, well, listen, I'm having a tough time. Cool. Hey, no problem. When are you going to get these black pants that you need to wear? It's going to be about maybe 2 weeks. Cool. No problem. Try to find some other pants other than these sweatpants. Even though I know they're black, but try to find something different. Cool. 2 weeks go by. 2 weeks turn into 3 weeks. Now I've giving you grace for the 2 weeks. I've given you grace for the sneakers. But now you don't have on the pants. You still have on sweatpants. So you kind of see where, as an Aries, I've given you the grace and I've worked with you, but now you've taken my kindness for weakness. And as a leader, you're supposed to give the grace, and they know that you're giving. Now, here's the thing: when you're giving the grace as a leader, which I've realized, you have to make sure you have paperwork behind it. And in the relationships, as far as marriage and friendships, you oftentimes are giving them the grace. You don't have paperwork behind it. It's a different with coworkers. So then you conflate the two. You don't know how to go between the two because you're like, damn, why should I have paper on my friends or my significant other? But you need to. And I don't like that. I don't think that you should go through the world by go to the world by having paperwork on your relationships and your friendships as if you would have at your job. But whatever. To each his own, I guess that's what we do. But I'm still staying on this part of the work aspect. So now when you put your foot down and say, go home, or I'm writing you up, it becomes a problem that you are the bad guy and you've been given the grace. Do you kind of see what I'm saying here? And so now I realize that I got to have paperwork behind everything that I say, or I have to have text, because some people just don't realize or they don't care that you've given them the grace. They don't even, or they don't know that you're giving them grace over those time periods, but that is got you boiling inside when you're about to write them up or when you're about to confront. I'm passive aggressive by nature, but I'm also understanding by nature, which makes me a great leader. But only time I become a bad leader is because you're mad because I'm about to hand down what I'm about to hand down to you. Did you get it? So that's my thing, man, as being a leader and about to help me. Okay, grow me as a leader. Teach me something that you feel that will help me get along, go further. Okay. And I feel like I do that because I take the things that I need that is necessary that I know and I apply it to you by talking to you about it in conversations that will help you grow. I'll give you an example, a perfect example. Okay. Having the wherewithal to bring out the best of your mate or the best of your agents that you're working with is applying what you did with another person and understanding that that didn't work with them, okay, and seeing how this particular situation could work for you. So back to the analogy of, back to the help me. Now that I'm helping you, or now that I'm showing you how to grow, is that I seen the way X person reacted to how I was not um that I got upset at the very tail end of me showing you grace because you just basically didn't want to follow the rules. So in relationships is the same thing. Like, so now I take that same scenario with the relationship part to grow and say, hey, I'm going to lead with love. Here, look, this is what I did wrong with this particular person. And I know that you're not that person, but You are doing X, Y, and Z. Here's how I'm going to help you grow. I need you to make sure if you can't get these things done, don't tell me that you're going to do it in a week. Tell me when you're really going to be able to do it so I can have that expectation. Because I'm going to tell you right now, if you don't have it done in the week that you say you're going to have it done, then I'm about to write you up. And that's the same thing in marital relationships or friendships. Hey, if you told me you're going to do something, then I'm going to come back to you and I'm going to hold your feet to the fire. What's up? And I think that's potentially to help that person grow, to know you have to mean what you say and say what you mean. And that's going to eventually help you in all aspects of your life. And I think that's what I've learned over 2024 so far is that shit. I said I was going to read 24 books, and I read 6 books this year, and I started out really gung ho, but I didn't mean what I say what I mean. I think that's me. I'm growing. I'm growing and I'm understanding. So I think that's what makes me a great leader is because I know that where my faults lie and where I'm wrong. Once I see it, and I can go and correct it. And I think that's the part about the leadership and growing. And so I'm very pleased with the way um, things are transitioning for the fall off. The I noticed with the Bluetooth or the speaker joint, it goes off if no music's played, so it's fine. That's what you heard in the background. Um, but yeah, man, I think that ultimately being a great leader is being able to do those things, and I think if you have that, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Hey, we got some important things coming up. So on the fall off, they have an Instagram, or me have an Instagram. You can check it out, Fall Off Podcast at IG. Also, um, you are now tuned in on the Patreon. Um, Subscribe to the higher tier. If you would like to talk to me about this particular subject, about leadership and the ways that you can effectively communicate, please subscribe to the tier of the $25 and hit me up. Let me know, hey, yo, look, I want to dive into that. We could talk about it, man. And we can make sure that people have your point of view and what you thought. I mean, all my views aren't lettered or written in stone. It's just my point so that you can see about it. And hopefully, you don't fall off in that category of leadership and you continue to bounce back. So without further ado, that is the show for today. And I am your host of the Fall Off Podcast.